So one of my friends hit me up and asked if I would be interested in being a featured creator in the Egg Hunt 2026, the Grand Express. Since I've been a huge fan of the last Egg Hunt that Koiverse has made back in 2018, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to get my name out there and kind of dip my toes into what it's actually like working with a game studio. I was also able to ask another friend of mine if they wanted to join in, so it was really nice having someone to bounce off ideas with and work on our eggs together. The onboarding process was pretty standard. We just had to sign a bunch of NDAs, then we finally got assigned to the chapter we'd be designing the egg for. In my case, I got the Creepy Castle chapter. From there, the developers had a big list of puzzle ideas and locations where each of the eggs could be collected. You were able to look through the thread and pick out which one you were most interested in, and if it was available, you get assigned to it. You'd think it would be kind of set in stone after you picked out your egg location, but the tricky part was the map was actually still being built while we were making our eggs. So instead of having a finished area to work with, we were mostly given a really vague description of the puzzle or location and sometimes a reference image. But since I got assigned to what was named the quote-unquote Simon Says room, the only thing I could really see in my reference image was a room with 8 colorful books on the floor and the description, quote, "So the puzzle is similar to an Among Us task where we press the buttons in the right order and the order gets longer and more challenging over time. Our puzzle is to do with books, so any book related ideas you have for this would be awesome." End quote. I mean, I'm really grateful that at least mine showed something, because I know some other creators already got pictures that were just a few gray building blocks. To this day, I still actually don't know what my area fully looks like besides what the reference photo showed. Obviously until the game gets released and then I will know. For the first pass, I was actually pretty lucky because I already sketched out a few concepts ahead of time. That meant I could get my initial approval pretty quickly. At this stage, the goal wasn't to make a nice drawing. It was really just to be able to get the green light so I can spend more time refining the details and figuring out what I actually wanted my egg to look like. I also took this opportunity to ask some follow-up questions about my area my egg was going to be in. I asked, quote, "I have a question. The building where the puzzle is it part of the castle or is it a separate building?" They said, quote, "It'll be part of the castle, just not the main foyer. You navigate through the castle to get to the room. It's in a different outside courtyard," end quote. Honestly, they gave us a lot of creative freedom. You could pretty much make whatever you wanted, which sounds great on paper, but I'm not sure if I completely agree with that approach. The downside is that you can end up with egg designs that don't really fit the area where you find them. Personally, I like to have some limitations when designing. I usually do a lot of research beforehand because I think creativity actually does thrive with constraints. Knowing things like the environment, the story behind the area, or even just the color palette gives you something to build off of. It helps you create a design that feels like it actually belongs there. Once I got the okay, it was time to start drawing. We only had about a week to model and texture the egg, so it was definitely a little tight, but I'm really happy I was able to finish everything while also juggling my other responsibilities. For my original concept, I decided to go with a pop-up book because I felt like it fit the theme of the room really well. And I was also inspired by the DIY egg that was in the 2018 Egg Hunt, which was my favorite in the Egg Hunt, by the way. So I wanted to capture that handmade, crafty feeling while also leaning into that childlike storybook look. Designing the castle was actually a little bit challenging because I also had to make it egg-shaped. In the speed paint, you can see some of the different ideas I experimented with before landing on the final design. I also kept pictures of the map off to the side as references because I wanted to incorporate some of the shapes and details onto the egg too. For example, I based the overall shape of the castle's entrance onto the egg itself, and I had the fence mimic the fences you see around the map. I also tried a few different roof designs for the towers, but I ended up going with the pointed roofs because they gave the castle a much grander look. While I was working on this egg, I kept getting this weird sense of deja vu. Like I've seen this book somewhere before, so I decided to do some research and join back the 2018 egg hunt to see if anything looked familiar. And I realized that the book that you use to travel between the different maps actually looks pretty similar to the one that I was making. Once I noticed that, I actually decided to lean into it a bit more as a little homage to that egg hunt. Once I had a general idea of what I wanted the egg to look like, it was time to work on the color keys. For the first color comp, I mostly stuck to the original colors from the map itself, and then for the second and third versions, I experimented with adding a purple corruption effect because I thought, looking back at some of the screenshots of the map, I thought I noticed a purple fog in some of the areas, so I thought it would be kind of fun to explore that idea as well. And then for the last color comp, I went in the total opposite direction with very bright, vibrant colors that leaned more into that childlike feel. That final color key actually sparked up an idea. What if the outside of the book looked really old and dusty, like it's been sitting on a shelf unopened for years? And when you open it, you're greeted by this bright, colorful pop-up scene showing what the castle looked like before it became all run down. You are only able to open this book if you complete the puzzle. So I really like the contrast between the worn, dark exterior of the book and then all the vibrant colors inside. And I also wanted to add a little decorative detail to the corners of the book, so I used the colors of the books that were in the puzzle and incorporated each color into one of the corners. When starting modeling, I was really fortunate to have my friend help me get the model exactly how I envisioned it. It ended up being a really fun collaboration because I was also able to return the favor by helping with artwork and concepting for their egg design. I also have some real-time footage of us working together.
I'm like doing the thickness of the page right now because on the artwork it looks like you played around with the thickness of the page that goes over it. I feel like modeling is just so much intuition.
Yeah.
It's just same with art, honestly. Wait,
it needs to be. I don't know. I want it to be in a cartoony style, but I don't want to over render it and stuff.
Let me put it in. Let me put it on the screen. Wait. Wow.
I'm so glad I did that.
No, because I feel like every time you draw your line art, it's just so clean.
Really?
On here especially.
Oh, right, yes.
Really?
I looked in the game because I was like, I swear I've seen this book before. Maybe they have it. And then I looked and I'm like, dude, this is
Oh, you're...
mine's a little different.
Baby, a reference. This is gonna be... You could post about that too. You can convince people being guys, guess what?
Pretty much it's separated into 3 parts. And that should make it easier.
The one little page up top. Okay, can you keep this open on your thing?
Yeah. If you even want to, we can exaggerate this part and make it more have like that angle. But I think you can just push it with your whatever tool you got to do that.
I'm just like blocking it out right now so I can get like all the layers in. Because this one is like straight. Okay, thoughts on like the thing on
Yes, I like it.
I think this looks better than the first version.
And it was quicker too.
Let's bring in the first version.
It's a lot more dynamic, I think.
Yeah, I think like the gravity of it like makes more sense as well.
Yeah. Because it could be small like that too. Yeah.
It's kind of a shame that you can't do like this for it.
Oh yeah.
That would have been cool too.
I want
the book looks
one
so good.
sticking out the side. I like it.
Like I think when you like texture it and stuff too, it's gonna look so good.
It's hard because of the angle, but I think it looks good.
Something like this?
Yeah, maybe even more a little orange here. Yeah. What the heck? That's so cool. What was that?
That was like automatic stitching. Definitely like take this with like a grain of salt though.
Yeah, for sure. I just use it as a base. Yeah, even having like it being like more of like a purple tone.
Yeah, I was thinking that of like being able to like
Yeah.
putting in the like some of the blue tones into the shadows.
Ooh, and I get to add like the little spots, like the little stain spots. That's really fun.
I can add those too.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
What? Wait, that's kind of.
Do you want me to?
That's so cool.
Like, I feel like the placement like feels randomized for it, right? So like.
Yeah.
So you're like, I cannot wait to add the drips. If I ever need to make an open book, now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like I think the pages that like stick out add probably the most to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Once the model was at a point where I could start texturing, I focused on the main assets first, like the castle, the fences, and the trees. From the beginning, I knew I wanted everything to have a crayon-like look, so I made sure to use a brush that matched that style. After that, the process was pretty straightforward since I already had my color key to guide me. It was a little bit of a different workflow than I'm used to, but I really enjoyed experimenting with it. Next, I moved on to the pages of the book, and I added some paint splatters and stains to give the paper a little more texture, and I wanted the pages themselves to have a more painterly feel. Before placing all the cardboard pop-up pieces on top, I hand painted the grass and the path underneath. I wish I had the speed paint for that part, but I used Procreate's model import feature to paint directly onto the model. Even though a few pieces were missing during the import, Jen gave me an overview on what piece was what, so I can work majority on the 2D texture. And I think the final results came out really nicely. After that, I worked on the outside of the book. giving it a worn leather texture with a spiral egg carved into the front cover, along with a little fabric bookmark sticking out of the pages. Since I don't really know about the game's lore, I did my best to include little doodles that matched the overall theme of the game. Once everything came together, it was really starting to feel alive. I was even able to submit the finished model early, which felt fantastic. Overall, I think the entire process went really smoothly. Throughout the project, there were several moments where I felt like the team was backtracking on decisions or changing the direction, almost like they weren't completely sure what the plan was. I can't be too mad at it though, because I know that they're juggling a lot of things at once. I also know some people weren't too happy with how my egg was positioned. Originally, I pitched two positioning ideas. One was inside the head and one was on top, and I tried to push the idea to have it on top of the head because I felt like you could see all the details a lot more, and then if it was inside the head, then you can't really see much of the egg at all. But they all ended up going with the one inside your head, so if the placement made it harder to appreciate my egg, I do apologize, and it is kind of my fault for not speaking up about it, but you know, I was a little nervous to say anything. So at the end of the day, would I do something like this again? Honestly, I'm not too sure. I obviously can't talk about every frustration, but the more I was involved with the project, the more I started feeling conflicted about how everything was going. I know this was voluntary, and I'm very grateful for given the chance and opportunity to create an egg, especially being a smaller creator. But for a fully overfunded game to rely on hundreds of volunteers, I expected a little more appreciation throughout the process. That said, I do think the final game turned out really well, and I have a lot of respect for the artists who were a part of the project and were able to make this game feel alive. I also want to take a moment to give some appreciation to all the egg creators involved. I don't know if they get nearly as much recognition as they deserve. I mean, for heaven's sake, the eggs are what makes an egg hunt, and they're the centerpiece of the entire experience. And every single one represents hours of work from an independent artist. So to everyone who contributed an egg, I appreciate you. Even with all that, I'm still really proud about how my egg turned out, and I wanted to create something that felt unique and different. And I think I did accomplish that. No matter how I feel about the overall experience, I'm happy with what I made, and that's something I can look back onto. Thank you for listening to me babble on. It was truly an eye-opening experience. Well, I gotta ask if you played the egg hunt, and what are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments. That being said, thank you all for watching, and may your hearts be filled with creativity and childlike wonder.
Yes! Once upon an egg. I did not mean to skip that, but that egg looked really cool. Wait, I want to see that. Dude, that egg is awesome. That's really cool. One of my favorite eggs. Dude, that one is... That's actually... That might be one of my new favorites too. That's really cool.